My name is Alex. This is another episode of the Sit Down on the Hip Hop Guru, and today we have two very special guests, Majid Jordan, Canadian royalty. How are you guys doing today?
Good. How you doing? Good. How you doing?
Good. We're all living life, man. That's it.
Yeah.
We're blessed.
Bless.
So for those who don't know, how did you guys originally meet?
We met at my birthday, my 21st birthday, and I basically snuck him into where the party was because he was underage. We started talking about music. One thing led to another, and we ended up making 2 songs in a day that turned into a mixtape that we put on the SoundCloud. 40 found, reached out to us, said, I'm starting a record label, which became OVO Sound. And he went and met 40 on our behalf, and he made it clear that he wanted to sign us, and now we're here many years later, 10 years later. We're blessed to be doing it. Good people, yeah. No clickbait.
No clickbait. Yeah. So what was the reason to go anonymous at the beginning as good people?
I don't know. I think like when we met, we were complete strangers before that moment. And I think even to this day, the reason why we make music and do what we do is to connect with people.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't necessarily like we wanted to make an album and get signed and have a deal with a label. It was more of just like we were young, we had the luxury of a little bit of time, and we just wanted to make something that we could share with our friends and other people. He was moving back to Bahrain because he was finishing school.
Mm-hmm.
So we actually uploaded it because we didn't think we'd see each other.
Oh yeah?
That's the reason.
Because when you guys did that meeting with 40, you did it on like Skype or something, right?
I wasn't here. Yeah.
Yeah. So how was that? You're kind of like, oh shit, this is real kind of thing.
Yeah, I told Jordan, like, this producer wants to meet us in Australia. He's like, oh yeah, I know 40. And he went and met him on our behalf, and yeah, it just became very real very quickly. I think it was almost like a moment that, you know, when it's happening to you, you're kind of processing everything, and that's a lot of life, really. It's just processing what's happening, not letting it overwhelm you, just going along with it, accepting what's about to come. You know,
Mm-hmm.
we made this new song, Life 2. It's very much the same kind of thing. It's like, we're here in this moment. We'll never be the same as the one that passed us. We're just going to continue to go and continue in the direction that we believe in, that we're working towards.
I like that. So like Life 2 is the duality of joy and sorrow, the sort of the song, right?
Yeah.
So talk about like the creation of that song and how, because you guys have a lot of meaning behind the songs. You guys have like the way you present them, the way you say that book about, you know? Just talk about the creation of how it got to that point, because it's Black too, right? It's a good song.
Yeah, it's I think when we're making music, we're a fan of music first and foremost, and I think we're pretty intimate with only having each other in the studio.
Mm.
Like we've worked with other people, we love to do it, but for the most part, when Maj and I are making music, it's me and him.
Mhm.
So I think it usually starts with like a meal or something. We talk for like a couple hours and we figure out where we're at, and then we pull music up. Like you pull music up like in a car, and then we kind of start writing. And I think a lot of our music is directed to kind of juxtaposing the danceability of our music. You know, we're not trying to just make music that is like danceable and uplifting, and the lyrics are also matching that energy and just talking about yourself and talking like, you know, I think a lot of music is completely about people and how confident they could be, and that's amazing. There's great music out there.
Mm-hmm.
I think we kind of connect as two people that share something that we both feel.
Yeah.
You know, so I think anytime that we've worked with people or we play shows or anything, we like to connect with people before and after the show, because for us it's not really a thing where we want to be on stage and be separated from people.
Mm-hmm.
We actually want to meet people.
No, so what's like the best fan interaction that you guys have had that kind of changed?
So many, man. Like so many. Like that have like really stuck with us. I think you said there's a guy from Japan.
Wow.
Yeah, there's a fan when we played Vancouver, our first show on our last tour. So now we're doing Good People Live Part 2, where we did Good People Live first part. And our first show was at Vancouver. A fan flew out from Tokyo,
Wow.
to see that show. Yeah, people flying in and going to all different kinds of places because we haven't performed there yet.
Mhm.
And those moments are beautiful. People telling you this was our first dance. Or, this is your song inspired us to do this, do that. You got me through med school.
Wow.
All these beautiful stories that you hear about. It's amazing. People proposing shows
Yeah.
or using the song.
It's like so incredible because those are pivotal moments in people's lives, and you guys have such a large impact on that too.
Yeah, and we just enjoy it. It's not like you set out to do those things. You get the privilege to be a part of those moments for people in their lives. But hearing about it is super rewarding, and we just get to meet people on that plane. Just like, and tell me about your life. Who are you? What do you do? What gives your life meaning?
Mm-hmm.
So it's basically like, before we start with music, we talk about it. What's giving your life meaning right now?
Mm-hmm.
Where is your focus right now? What's on your mind? That kind of starting point, and then going from there to see what we want to create.
Wow, that's incredible. So like you guys started like that theory, that is amazing. It's like seeing the journey all the way to where you guys are now, for making music together in that dorm that you guys did with the first 2 songs to now. What's the best like lesson that you've learned along the way?
Don't expect anything. It's a hard thing to grasp your head around because there's limited amount of time and resources for a lot of people. But if you can try your best to just do it, to connect with people and not expect anything to come out of it, it's that leap of faith usually pays off, and people kind of recognize that and they attract to that too. I think everybody just wants to kind of be heard, and I think the more we do what we do, it's like, I'm from Markham. I grew up in Markham. And so when we play a show somewhere in Toronto and there's people from Markham, which is like just north of Toronto. Yeah, but like they're like, oh, I'm making music. Like you show it, like that's amazing. Mm-hmm. It's incredible. Mm-hmm. So I don't really, we don't try to value anybody at a different level just because there's something to get from it, Mm-hmm. So usually when you start doing those things in life, you're not happy and you can kind of get lost in it quickly. Thankfully, we have each other. Yeah. It's like a lot of people in music try to do it by themselves. They try to work with one producer or with something. And the best people that we've seen stick together since the beginning and grow from there. And it might take a while, but you're going up every single year. You're not going like,
constant growth, right? It's nothing happens overnight kind of thing. Yeah,
100%. Yeah. Toronto's a small city. If you show up for people and you get out there and you meet people and just be yourself and try not to take it so quickly, it'll probably happen. That's probably the biggest lesson.
No, that's true, because everybody has this like idea that the grass is greener on the other side kind of thing, but it's like very similar in every single city, right?
Yeah, they're kind of like, oh man, we're gonna get here, but like, where are you trying to get to? Because I think like a thing that we want to do. Majid is from Bahrain, played one show in 12 years. We're out there for like a month out of 12 years.
I was watching.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what we want to do.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
That's basically it.
How was that over there? Because I saw one interview you guys were talking about how you went for the first time, like everybody was family kind of thing. How was that experience?
Amazing. I think just understood a little bit more about the environment I grew up in, and therefore, certain characteristics about how I approach things or how I do things, how I am, so that was cool to just like have that connection. And then to see people that you love all getting along and being in the same room, that's also super inspiring and rewarding. And coming up to the end of a project when you want to be the most inspired and you want to be in a great mindset, having that experience close to when the deadline's approaching that you've set yourselves. It felt like the perfect way to wrap up a journey.
Yeah.
And that became Good People, the album, which we're very, very happy with. It was a blessing.
So the Good People album, what's one thing about that album you would love about?
probably the album cover. He took the cover on his iPhone.
Is that right?
Yeah, just on a rooftop.
That's
Yeah,
good.
overlooking the desert sunset.
That is cool.
Yeah, same thing. Even with this new artwork for Life 2 thing, just like a photo, took on the iPhone, and then we just edited it after. And it's cool. Like kind of the way we approached the making of this album was sort of the opposite of that, where we set time aside to go into a studio for a month and actually form something, not knowing what we were going to do. And a lot of the songs on this album came out of almost 15, 20-minute jams that got reduced into whatever the tracks became. And I think that's also something. Cool.
True. Yeah, I think we like collaborated with a lot of people, like a lot of producers and writers and talented people to make the album, and I think that came from like, I think for like initially we were like, all right, we're gonna go in the studio for a month, just both of us
Lock in.
and then once we like gave that time to ourselves, we're like, oh, we actually like want to bring a lot of people. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like what I was kind of saying before, like don't really expect how it's gonna go. If you set yourself up for it, then like you're always kind of like falling short of your expectations.
Absolutely.
So we went into it and we're like, we don't care how it sounds, we don't care what it is, we don't care anything, and we collaborated with most people. And then now we're about to play a tour. We're about to go back to Bahrain, so there's no coincidence.
I also like how the name of the tour is a hat to the original name as well. Like,
Yeah.
they're maintaining that, where the beginning is, and you keep that on the way.
Yeah, like you got to stick with the people that you love and that you care about. And there's a lot to harness in those relationships, but it's worth it, and we get to do what we love. So.
Nice. Cool. So what are some of the upcoming collaborations, or what's new about this? Like, you guys working on a new album, of course. What is something that's on this that is different from the previous one? Because you guys have this really good way of like changing each album, so it's constantly like the evolution of the sound.
I think, yeah, I mean, it's just a natural, it's not something we're even planning for. I guess it's just something that, like you said, when we sit down and get together and talk, we've had the most meals together out of anyone else in each other's lives. Like, probably had 10,000 meals together, 10,000 hours in this. And so sitting down, facing now this open road that's ahead, kind of talking about what we'd like to see, what we'd like to experiment with. And I think bringing back some of the sounds maybe we used earlier on in our careers, coming out, making the earlier albums we were doing. I feel like Life 2 is a balance between the Good People album and maybe something like the Majid Jordan album, the Space Between album, which was our 7-year anniversary yesterday.
Congratulations.
Remember it today.
Yeah.
Thank you. And just experimenting a little bit more and talking about different things, just talking about how certain things are accepted as normal, when if you sit down and analyze them, they're kind of ridiculous. Like, why is everybody in a rush to go nowhere sometimes? Like, what are you getting to is the question we asked. Like, what happened to living life, not having as much material things around you, but being also at the same time very content with your surroundings, with your lifestyle? What difference does it make being surrounded by the ocean or being landlocked? These are like ideas, just things we talk about. Who knows if any of this is going to end up on that in lyrical content. Like, just asking these questions about, how did we get here and where do you go from here? And in Life 2 asks that question. It's like, I may never be the same again. I also know that this moment is going to propel me on to the next one, and I can make a decision in this moment on where I want my life to go next. To whatever privilege and ability you have in that moment to make that decision, of course. But just like asking questions about how do we get to this point and where do we go to like alleviate some of the pressures here or change some of the approaches here or the way of thinking, we'll see that.
No, that's good. So like you're saying about these next, you guys have accomplished so much in your career. What is something that you guys want to reach as that next level of success to get to that next, what's the next goal that you guys want to get?
don't know, because we want to keep doing it. You know, so I think you need like a village of people to propel something into whatever success that you want. So I think, you know, over the years we've been fortunate enough to stick around the same group of people to help us with making that happen, not just with us in a way making music. But I think we love traveling, you know, we love like meeting other people who are making music that we have like a mutual respect for, you know, that you might not expect unless you left the city and saw it for yourself. So I think like we want to do that more.
That's cool.
Yeah. I think definitely like trying to build the bridge between like going from like a Toronto R&B duo to like what, like you can call it R&B, do whatever you want, but like these Bahraini, you know, so like little things like to actually make the bridge between Bahrain and Toronto in the Middle East, and it's like it's not that far, you know. So I think we've just like always wanted to do that, even though for a lot of people it's wild, like it's like so far away. It's really not. So
Yeah.
it's like the main thing.
Yeah, big flood kind of thing. Yeah.
Like me and yeah, it's like we grew up in Toronto.
Yeah.
It's like everybody's.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What vibes?
I agree, like expanding that world and sharing it with others as well. You know, like we were blessed to go to Nigeria to work with artists there. We worked in also Mali there. You know, blessed to go to Miami to work with the Sky and Fair Show Fade, who are a Colombian music production and performing duo now that are working on a new album. So just like meeting people from different places in the world that are doing the same thing in their own way. I think that's something we're working towards, because it's our first initial thing about meeting people and connecting with people, bridging those gaps, and learning about different cultures. Yeah, the music at the end of the day is this pure, beautiful artistic expression that we want to always cultivate. And if we get to collaborate with other people who are doing the same thing, it's only going to grow for all of us.
No, that's awesome. And you guys are huge on like songwriting as well, right? So you guys have had some huge credits. How is it approaching a song that's like the songwriter side versus like producer, artist side?
I mean, yeah, you never really know what you're going to expect. We talk about it with each other. Sometimes you're in the studio and it's like you're in the jungle and you don't know what you're going to find or where you're going to end up. And you have to be okay with that. Some days, you know, you're not going to be able to get past a certain tree line. And other days you're going to find a huge clearing. There's going to be everything you need there. So I think it's just having the patience, the discipline, and the belief in that you're going to get to that clearing and find the words that were meant for you in that moment and destined to be good.
Awesome. So like, if you guys were to go back at the beginning of your career and yourself some advice that you guys know now, what would that kind of be?
I think I know what I would say to myself. So I'll say like, just don't worry so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's never the end of the world, and understand that, you know, the world you built in your head is the world that's inside of you. So go look at the lake or go look at something that's really expansive and really big to understand just how small these problems are.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like it's like your personal, like making music or anything that you do, like your personal issue in your life that's giving you stress, and like give that time. Like go and explore what's actually going on around you in the world. There's way more time for that than you need to or you think. Like that stuff is really what shapes you as a person and puts a lot of your other small issues into perspective very quickly. You know, so we're like blessed to make music in a studio and like be removed in a sense from everything else in the world. So you have to know that like that's not
Absolutely, not enough people in this world are going to touch grass every day. You know?
No, man. Yeah, exactly. That's why we want it to be, at least in Toronto, like, this is second home for Maj.
This is home.
To be around people, to have that groundingness is like so important.
Well, it changes everything.
Yeah.
If you're not enjoying what you do around the people that you're with, you're just gonna hate doing that. So,
Well, I'm still like in cars and tomorrow until like 4 in the morning when like I should have been doing something else, but it's always worth it.
absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
It's like a deep cut. It's true.
It's true. Late night conversation, drive through, something playing in the background.
Yeah. When you were supposed to be somewhere
When you're
else.
supposed to be, asleep maybe because something's happening next door.
Those are where the realest ideas come from, though.
Or like interviews. Or like interviews in a boardroom.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Interviews in the boardroom.
There we
I
go.
was there till 4.
So you guys had 10,000 meals together. Which one's been the best?
I think I'd have to put the Chinese one we had together when we first made Chip Pat Deluxe. That was at Lee's
Yeah.
Garden.
Yeah.
Because that set off the whole journey.
Yeah.
We went and I think we went at like midnight or something. Really late. We were like, I was like, are you hungry? He's like, yeah, I'm hungry. So let's go to Chinatown. Go to Lee's Garden. It's not shut. But that's up there as one of my favorites. And then we love sushi. So anytime we get sushi together,
Yeah.
You guys get them to go for sushi.
wakase.
Anything that
Anything they recommend?
anything that is like interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And they're like, no, we don't want to tell you what it is.
yeah.
What do you think is the best restaurant in Toronto?
See, that depends. Like, what kind of meal are you going for?
Best.
The best. I've been to Highs a couple times. I like that spot. Not too shabby.
Where is that?
I don't know. It's near here, actually.
Ice?
I'm still thinking Waze. Shout out Waze. Waze, if you give me a sponsorship, God bless. But
Yeah, let's make it happen.
yeah, I throw stuff in the GPS, and I kind of do one of these, and I just follow the maps.
It's
Yeah.
Well, that's not good.
Could you imagine back in the day, you had to print a map quest or look at a
Yeah.
map?
Oh my God.
yeah, I thought Alibaba's was like
Real shawarma?
That was the shit.
that was the move.
Yeah.
Boy, I gotta give,
Boy, did I know.
we gotta give a shout out to, I think, the new best shawarma downtown. Why not shawarma?
It's a good spot.
It's a good spot. It's actually a good spot. It's on Danforth, close to the musical.
Yeah.
If you get a chance, I think it's a Syrian spot, and they do the Syrian shawarma. They make it with pomegranate molasses.
Pomegranate molasses.
It's like just like a little sweet,
Yeah.
just a tiny bit with like hot sauce, spicy, and savory. But let's make ways happen, and let's make this happen again. This was fun.
That's the cool thing about them, because they get you to the destination. You guys' journey is getting incredible as well. So
Thank you so much, man. Thank you for the support and for all the kind things that, acknowledging and reminding us of where we started, where we are. We're very much looking forward to the future.
imagine if you never responded to that email that 40 sent.
I feel like we all would have met still.
Mhm.
But it just
Universe
met
has this way of
in this room.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yes, definitely.
Gotta ask you guys one thing. My favorite song by you guys is probably Violet. How was it creating that song?
It was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, we made that quick.
Yeah.
We made that very quick. Yeah.
Jordan had a very specific idea that he just wanted to try out, and it happened to work immediately. And he wanted me to sing in a certain way where I held certain notes that overlapped. Remember? And then we just found the words that fit into that melody, and then the rest of the song, I was very much in a mind state where I was wondering about life and things were changing, how I perceive things. What am I doing? Who am I? And if you read the lyrics, it's all in the words there. Unlearning what you thought was the truth, discovering that that's just a version of truth that you've been taught. So, that's kind of how it unfolded. It started with, he had this one specific way of seeing this idea, and then it turned into a 7-minute jam, which is
It's a fantastic. That meme with the kid that he's dancing like this.
Yeah.
Every time I hear it, I'm just driving in. I'm like this song and the new song as well. So,
Thank you. That was also, I feel like, similar kind of thing.
Life too.
Life 2, it was like the voice in the chorus, right? It's like singing. We had this idea to sing like a 80s style, which is very like chesty, you know.
Yeah.
So we played with that, and it almost felt like we have a feature on the song.
Yeah.
Because it's two characters,
Mm-hmm.
and so just playing with that.
Well, that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's fire.
Right.
Vibes. So what if you guys, when people listen to your music, what do you want them to experience?
I don't know. Whatever they experience, I hope it's enjoyable.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people who listen to our music, I think they really resonate with what Majid's saying.
Mm-hmm.
And I hope I can facilitate that with him to, you know, get people out there who don't really have people in their lives to tell them, to kind of like reignite them from the inside, to let them believe in themselves. I hope it gives them some kind of like self-confidence.
I love the positive vibes.
Yeah, yeah. I think people need to like realize that it takes a lot of confidence and effort to not be like loud, but like to be excited, and excited for other people is like what people actually need